Thrust and parry with avant-garde poets as they prepare to transform sound into art. Defy the law of gravity to make water run uphill. Fondle a good luck charm in the battle to beat the odds in a marathon $1 million bingo game. Play tricks on the brain as part of a series of experiments in England. Participate in a Chinese religious ritual designed to foretell the future. Witness a demonstration of the powers of hypnosis. Join hands to hum along during a transcontinental concert devoted to a single sound. Put a clock on the speedy speech of one of the world's fastest talkers. Push off with an adventurer determined to be the first man to ski down Mount Everest. The strange, the bizarre, the unexpected. These are the kinds of subjects a man named Robert L. Ripley challenged us to
believe it or not.
Water. We take it for granted. But if you were deprived of it for only 7 days, you would probably die. There isn't one single living thing on Earth that can do without it. But we can do more with it than bathe in it, swim in it, or drink it. Water can be made to do some pretty remarkable things. For example, it can make this sign do this. The arrow is pointing to the left. I place this empty glass in front of it. The arrow hasn't changed directions, but it will when I add the magic ingredient, water. Transforms the glass into a lens and creates the illusion that the arrow is pointing the other way. They went that way. Or maybe this way. Believe it. Or not.
Sound. A microphone picks it up. An amplifier magnifies it. But what we hear are words, and words are the stock in trade of poets who are as concerned with the meaning of a word as the sound it makes. To make sure others read what they wrote the way they want it read, poets sometimes resort to some unusual typography. For example, the last few lines of a poem by E.E. Cummings called Chanson Innocente, in celebration of Halloween. All the spaces within the line and between the lines are meant to guide the reader. It goes like this. Whisk. Look out for the old woman with the wart on her nose. What she'll do to you, nobody knows. For she knows the devil. Ouch, the devil. Ouch, the devil. Ah, the great green dancing devil, devil. Devil, devil. Whee!
Since E. Cummings wrote that back in 1922, other poets have used a similar idea and taken it to an entirely different level. They are not concerned with meaning at all, but simply with the sound itself.
Listen to the tone, E flat, as we begin with the accordion, the strings. Listen to the E flat, feel the tonality, feel the harmony.
One day every year in cities across the United States, groups gather for what has become known as a transcontinental hum. Moving together, intoning a common note, they participate in a special kind of performance art. The idea for the hum is the creation of Bonnie Barnett, a San Francisco composer. She wanted people to have an opportunity to connect with each other through natural vocal vibrations. Humming performance of the various groups is mixed together via satellite. Then, it's transmitted to 8 public radio stations and reaches out to 250,000 people. After an hour and 20 minutes, the group, acting on a common impulse, brings the musical vibrations to a halt. In the years to come, Bonnie Barnett hopes to make the hum a global event, uniting the world with vibrations of sound. Words, words, words. How fast can they be spoken trippingly on the tongue? In Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's the concern of Tom Adams.
And I'm now going to attempt to say all 50 states, all 50 capitals of those states, the alphabet backwards, the presidents of the United States in order, the 66 books of the Bible in order, the 32 points of the compass, not the 16, just the 32 points of the compass, and all the train stops between New York and Chicago. Hopefully we're going to do this in less than 1 minute. All ready? Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, York, Virginia, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, North Carolina, North Alabama, Michigan, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, Kansas, Iowa, Michigan, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South, North Dakota, Mexico, California, Washington, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Montana, Alaska, Hawaii, Augusta, New York, Boston, Harbor, Providence, Army, Harrisburg, Dover, Naples, Charles, Columbia, Montgomery, Jackson, Atlanta, Tallahassee, Franklin, Westmoreland, Columbus, Minneapolis, Springfield, Lansing, Madison, Baltimore, Jefferson, Little Rock, also Mississippi, Pierre, look at this, Tina, Santa Fe, Atlanta, Salem, Sacramento, Cheyenne, Denver, Kansas, Salt Lake City, Boise, Honolulu, Xerox, Views, could be your own kids, Washington, Avenue, Jefferson, Massachusetts, Jackson, Denver, Harrison, Tyler, Park, Taylor, Philma, Pierce, Pickle, Jasper, Hayes, Garvin, Cleveland, McKinney, Oil, Taft, Wilson, Hardy, Cool, Troop, Roosevelt, 299, Ken, Justin, Ford, Jan, Suckerface, numbers, Deuteronomy, Justice, Wednesday, Winter, Kings, Winter, Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Nanzay, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, John, Maccanon, Habakkuk, Isaiah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1, 2 Corinthians, Ephesians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, Titus, 5, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 1 John, Jude, Revelation, north, east, north, northeast, north, north, northeast, north, east, east, northeast, even south, east, southeast, south, east, southeast, south, 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 east, south, 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 west, south, southwest, south, 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 west, west, southwest, south, west, west, northwest, 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 Harlem, Pico, Beacon, Poughkeepsie, Ryan, the Council, Army, Connecticut, Amble, Falls, Circumpolar, Rhode Island, Syracuse, Lions, whatever, TV, Buffalo, Dunkirk, West Virginia, Beautiful, Cleveland, Sandusky, Toledo, Chicago.
The hills near Rhinebeck, New York, echo to a unique type of vocal counterpoint. This sound poetry is the creation of Charles Stein, poet and teacher, and his colleague, poet George Quasha. Quasha, with his artist wife Susan, publishes avant-garde poetry through their Station Hill press. For over a decade, the two poets have experimented with the basic elements of speech, creating a new form of abstract poetry. To prepare for performances of their works, the poets continually practice ancient Chinese martial arts. The exercises, called Tai Chi, are designed to improve concentration. A mock battle with wooden swords is another form of Tai Chi. For the poets, such martial arts hone the instinctive cooperation they must have to create their sound poetry. Creating a new sound vocabulary calls for a new form of notation.
Surrounding the meanings of the words are many expressive possibilities in addition to the meanings of the words. I use vowels for vowels, consonants for consonants, and I try to make the way the letters look correspond to the way I feel about the sounds. For instance, opt, act, I, well, probably, I, d, sorat, obotos. N, cost, N.
The internal impulse within the sound arises within the body and travels outward to manifest itself in the automatic movement of the hand, like this.
Specific sound units provide the basis of their improvised performance. The blending of their two voices creates a third, unpredictable voice. In India, a holy man began a chant which his followers continued for 13 years. Believe it or not. In a moment, find out how to make water run uphill. Pay homage to the god of good luck in Hong Kong. Share the determination of a skier inspired to attempt the impossible. See a demonstration of the power of hypnosis. Get into a $1 million marathon bingo game.
Got your new sinus medicine, extra strength Sine-Off. What are you doing on the floor?
Oh, I'm draining my sinuses.
Does that work?
Not really.
Sine-Off. When I asked, the pharmacist said it had more kinds of sinus relief than the things you used to take. Even that one. Relief from dripping, pain, and pressure.
More kinds of sinus relief. Great. Can we get up now?
Extra strength Sine-Off. There's even a Sine-Off that can't make you drowsy from antihistamine.
It's working.
Who has vibrant greens, brilliant blues, the crispest reds, an incredibly lifelike sound? Only RCA. Introducing Full Spectrum Television, the only full stereo TV to process 100% of the audio-video signal. All the color, all the sound, all the time. Bringing the magic of life right into your living room. Full stereo, full spectrum television, only from RCA. Technology that excites the senses.
Introducing new Velleman's gum.
It's alive with flavor.
The first sugar-free gum with flavor sparkles.
Alive with freshness. New Velleman's gum makes your mouth come alive. A cool, new, clean sensations arrive. New Velleman's gum makes your mouth come alive. Sparkling fresh makes you feel revived. New Velleman's gum makes your mouth come alive.
New Velleman's sugar-free gum.
Makes your mouth come alive.
Tonight, there's no place to hide.
We still rolling?
There's nowhere to turn when Steve Allen hosts an all-new Life's Most Embarrassing Moments. Then, they rule among the rich in the city where no one says no.
I'm just trying to get all the gusto that I can.
High above Tinseltown, where everything goes. Starting tonight, from the infamous bestseller by Jackie Collins, Hollywood Wives. All starting at 8, 7 Central tonight.
Scientists assure us that the laws of physics are exactly the same throughout the universe. But there are places and times when everything seems, well, wrong. Your eyes keep seeing things your brain knows can't be happening. The law of gravity seems suspended, or at least turned on its ear. Then there's this strange inability to stand upright. There's nothing wrong with me. It's this place. It's gotta be. Ah, a pool table. Perhaps this will prove to be an island of sanity in this very strange house. Pool balls that roll uphill? It seems impossible, and it is. This is the haunted shack at Knott's Berry Farm, Buena Park, California. There isn't a true level line anywhere in the building, but the brain assumes there is and confuses appearances with reality. This ball only seems to roll uphill. What's actually happening is that the eye is misleading the brain. Everything here is a sobering reminder that often what seems to be real is only an illusion, a matter of perception, and you need to be reminded of that when you see something like this. Water that appears to flow uphill. Believe it or not. At Edinburgh University, a series of ingenious experiments demonstrates how completely vision overrides all other senses in our perception of reality. Inside this specially constructed room, researchers subject a volunteer to the perils of an illusion. An abstract design projected onto the curved surface deprives him of knowing which way is up. The rotating image completely disorients the subject, despite the fact that the floor is solid and unmoving. The subject knows he is throwing himself off balance. He continues, though, to react automatically to the illusion created by the moving visual field. To further refine their understanding of how motion is perceived, the researchers make use of a suspended, free-swinging platform. Once on the platform, the subject's view is blocked by the blue sidewalls.
Okay.
As the platform moves, so do the walls, which are linked to it.
How do you feel?
It's moving me around in circles.
The effect is disorienting.
Yes.
She is confused because she feels movement but cannot see it.
Now, am I moving or are you?
When one of the researchers stations himself in her field of vision, her brain struggles to make sense of the situation. She finally, but incorrectly, concludes that the researcher is moving and she is stationary. In another test, the walls and platform are disconnected. Now the platform will remain in place, while only the walls move back and forth. Again, the subject comes to the wrong conclusion.
You're moving me backwards and forwards. Smoothly.
The platform's moving?
Yes.
The subject's conviction that she is moving when she is not is further evidence of how completely the senses can be misled by the altering of physical circumstances. In Philadelphia, at the Institute of Pennsylvania Hospital, psychiatrist Martin Orne has carried out extensive research in the use of hypnotism.
Consider an experiment. Try it with me now. Just raise your right hand like this and put it down. Fine. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you were hypnotized. Now try something else with me. You know the beast, the hippopotamus, the one they have in the zoo with the big mouth? When I say 3, I want you to forget the hippopotamus. Do it, okay? 1, 2, 3. Forget it now. You know, it's not quite so simple. Indeed, if you're trying real hard to forget it, 6 months from now, I can still ask you what you're trying to forget, and you'll be able to tell me. If you had been hypnotized, however, somehow you'd have been able to do this, and you'd have the experience, gee, wait a minute, I knew it a minute ago. What was it? It's at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. Now, that kind of change, a distortion of perception or memory in response to cues from the hypnotist, that does characterize hypnosis.
To demonstrate how hypnosis can distort the perception of reality, Dr. Orne works with a cooperative subject who has the ability to enter deep hypnosis.
You'll become aware that the number 6 will be gone. The number between 5 and 7 is gone. 5 and 7 is gone. Between 7 and 5 is gone. Tell me, would you count from 10 to 1?
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's right. And shortly you'll wake up, and you'll still be aware that the number between 5 and 7 is gone. It won't bother you. It'll just be gone. So I can say 1, 2, 3, you'll wake up. Wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, wake up. How do you feel?
Fine.
Good. Would you count to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Would you count my hands for me? The fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can you point to them as you count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How's that?
How many fingers are there here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, now count these 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So how many fingers have I got?
10.
Right. Now count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. Tell me.
It's not working out right.
Close your eyes, forget all about it. Forget all about it. Number is returning to your mind. You're becoming aware of it again. And you can now recall the number between 5 and 7, and you'll be aware of it when you wake up. 1, 2, 3, you're wide awake. So you count from 1 to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now you know what you were doing.
Yes.
Now, what hypnosis does is not only to distort the perception, but also to alter the reaction to something which would otherwise be quite worrisome. The hypnotized subject can go further still, and he can alter his entire perceptual system. How come? How did you feel when that occurred?
Upset. Flustered. Flustered would be the better word for it. It just suddenly wasn't, you know, everything was a bit disjointed.
Right.
And I didn't know why.
The walls and columns of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. only look straight. They actually lean inward. Believe it or not. In a moment, consult a fortune teller in Hong Kong to find out what the future holds. Share the struggle of a Japanese team determined to launch the first man to ski down Mount Everest. Mark your cards in a marathon $1 million bingo game.
8.8 annual percentage rate financing on any new 1985 Nissan truck. You can save from over $600 in interest on Nissan's lowest sticker price truck to over $1,300 depending on model and options. 8.8%, the lowest factory-sponsored truck financing around. But it won't be around for long, so hurry. 8.8% financing from Nissan to qualified buyers at participating Datsun dealers.
It's got my favorite colors, red and gold, and I like to drink it when it's very cold. Mom got it for me, 'cause it's caffeine-free. I don't even know what that means. Well, I don't care if it's caffeine-free. I only know it tastes good to me. Well, I don't care if it's caffeine-free, but Mom does. Caffeine-free Coke, I'm glad Mom gets it for me.
Monday.
Go faster. Put the money in the bag, you understand?
They're a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. And they're setting their sights.
What happens next? Next, you give us the money, and then you get to die.
Hardcastle and McCormick at 8, 7 Central. Tomorrow.
Ripley's Believe It or Not will continue in a moment.
Tuesday, Larry's back, making trouble for Jack.
Look who's here.
Three's a crowd. Then, a night to remember is a morning to forget.
Who's been sleeping in your bed?
They're making headlines on Who's the Boss, all starting at 8, 7 Central. Tuesday.
It's explosive. Levitt's Washington's birthday sale. Don't miss the savings, the selection during Levitt's Washington's birthday sale, now through Monday.
After working the night shift, I get together with my family. Since McDonald's is so close by, having breakfast with them is easy for me. The food is good, the price is right, and I can see my family after working all night.
It's a good time.
Get a good day's sleep, Daddy.
For the great taste of McDonald's.
The all-new 103 WABC. Now with more money and more hit music. Turn it up to 103 WABC.
Could you save a life? Every family should have someone who can. And Red Cross is there to help you be the one.
Can exercise kill you? Tonight at 11.
One of the oldest known forms of gambling. They were shooting dice 2,000 years ago in the Italian town of Pompeii, when a nearby volcano called Vesuvius suddenly exploded. Poisonous fumes, and then tons of ash hit the town so quickly, almost everyone died in their tracks. When archaeologists uncovered Pompeii in modern times, they found everything just as it had been, including proof that people then were pretty much as we are now. There were gamblers and there were crooked gamblers. Not surprisingly, some of the 2,000-year-old dice the archaeologists found were loaded, fixed to always come up winners. 7.
In Hong Kong, the search for a winner creates a thriving business at the temple of Wong Tai Sin. People come here to perform a particular ritual which they believe will answer questions about future events. Inquiries may range from which horse to bet on to what to do about a failing romance. To get the answers requires the use of small bamboo strips which have a number on each side. They are called jas sticks. In Chinese, jas means luck. The sticks and a cup to contain them can be rented at a stall near the temple. The ceremony involves shaking the jas sticks in the cup until one falls out. It may seem an accident, but not to the faithful. They are convinced that it was selected by divine intervention as a direct response to their prayer. For them, the ritual is a way to honor Wong Tai Sin and, simultaneously, discover exactly what the future holds in business affairs or in affairs of the heart. The jas sticks, however, do not provide an immediate answer. They merely point the way. The numbers on the sticks correspond to cryptic predictions posted near the temple. To discover the meaning of the message selected by the jas stick, it must be analyzed by an expert. In a passageway near the temple called Fortune Teller's Alley, professional soothsayers interpret the message for a small fee. In this case, the soothsayer says it could mean the young lady can expect favorable marriage prospects or advances in her career. The soothsayer has a 50-50 chance of being right, which are better odds than busloads of bingo players in Cherokee, North Carolina can expect. From as far away as Canada, the players come in hope of hitting a jackpot that could be worth $200,000. Because the casino is located on an Indian reservation, it is not subject to the civil law of North Carolina. All-night bingo sessions are scheduled twice each month, except December. And at each session, as many as 3,000 people show up and pay a minimum of $250 to get in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 300.
The price of admission includes a pack of bingo cards and the right to settle in as the marathon begins.
B6.
Each letter number combination called is displayed on an electronic board. The selection is left entirely to chance. Inside a clear plastic box, ping pong balls emblazoned with different combinations are randomly blown up into a funnel. To assure players that the announcer reads each selection correctly, it is placed in front of a TV camera. Via a closed-circuit system, it is kept on view until the next combination is called. The elaborate precautions are justified by the amount of money involved. Players hope to win a fortune. The operators have already made one. These players paid a total of almost $800,000 for the privilege of getting into the game. Despite their investment, most of them know the odds are against them.
Why is it the most exciting game? To me, the challenge. You can't win at bingo. There's no way you can win. Eventually, you're going to be a loser. It's just the excitement and the thrill. I love it.
For every game, there is at least one winner and almost 3,000 losers.
Playing bingo to me is like a fisherman who goes fishing. As long as he knows that there's a big fish out in the water, he'll sit in the boat all day to land that big fish. I'll sit here at bingo all day to land the big prize.
To increase their chances of landing a big prize, most players buy extra game cards. On the average, they spend another $300 each. For the operators, that means an additional income of almost $1 million. Another way players believe they can improve the odds is to bring along good luck charms.
My girlfriend went to Hawaii and just got back last week, and she brought them to me. And they're all a symbol of good luck.
During the course of the evening, hopeful players participate in about 120 games. Prizes may be as little as $1,000, but each game ends with a payoff for somebody.
D2. G46.
Bingo!
Every win is welcome, but most players have come to hit it big in a jackpot game.
Master Jackpot coverall. 48 numbers or less, $200,000. 49 numbers, $100,000. At 50 numbers or more, $50,000. Cover on 48 numbers or less will pay $200,000.
To win the big payoff, every square of the bingo card must match one of the first 48 numbers announced. If nobody wins by the 48th number, the prize will be reduced with each additional number called.
I-26. G-52.
The next number called could be worth $200,000.
Your 48th number for $200,000. O63.
The lack of a winner cuts the prize in half.
Your 49th number for $100,000. I-17.
Again, no winners. And again, the prize is cut in half.
O62. Here bingos, we have a winner on O62.
For the winners, it is a moment of exultation at the end of a long and wearying marathon. For them, the investment has paid off. The prize is $50,000. It must be divided between them, however, after their cards have been verified.
We have 4 valid winners.
Any other bingos? Now the game is closed. Again, pay the 4 winners $12,500 apiece.
For a few, luck and perseverance pay off.
Congratulations. You be careful with that. Thank you, dear. Thank you, and I'm so proud of this. Bye-bye.
$12,500 is not a bad wage for sitting at a table making marks on a piece of paper. For the operators of the casino, however, the wages are even better. They took in about $1,800,000. They paid out close to $600,000. That left almost $1,200,000 to cover expenses. Not bad.
for an average day.